Okay, there we are.
Should be live, yeah.
Okay, they can see and hear me. I'm sorry, guys. YouTube's just having way too much fun. Well, I don't know how to give you the word Epstein because he's on every channel right now. It's like, come on, people. But let's see if I can get my pictures going again because that had
Hold
disconnected.
on, I didn't bring that
Okay.
application up. Hold on. It's coming up.
Well, we'll just, I'm going to quick kind of go over a few things in case anybody missed it. Um, So, because everyone's paying attention to other stuff, this trial's kind of got missed. It's actually in the third week. Okay, you guys. This is a federal sex trafficking trial. Now, like I said, these guys, the Alexander brothers, were high end real estate brokers. Oren, one of the twins, and the older brother Tao were the real estate brokers. They were called the A team. Yeah, narcissists. Oren's twin, Alon, was an attorney who ran the family's private security firm. They served, celebrities, heads of state. The three frequently traveled between Manhattan and South Florida properties by private jet and yacht, attending really swanky parties. And like I said, if there's a siren going off in your head, because we're talking Manhattan, New York, we're talking South Florida, luxury real estate, private jets, and sex trafficking. And you're thinking, where have I heard this before? Those things all lumped together before? You're right on track. There is documented connections between the Alexander brothers and Jeffrey Epstein. This is not speculation. When they recently released the last files, this was one of the things that they pulled up. Of course, now it's been taken down, but somebody screenshot it, and that was Chong Kim sent it to me. That's how I got it. And this lists individuals who were reporting information on Epstein. Okay. It's buried in the files. And so they went ahead, like I said, and deleted it. But the information comes from a girl who was a model. She was 16 years old. And she said she attended parties at Epstein's house, about 8 parties. Okay. So think about that. She's attended 8 parties at this house. And she names that on one occasion, she makes the claim that there were twin brothers there. And she claims that the two of the twins, and she thought one's name was Alon and the other was Oren. And they got her and her friend, they lured them upstairs. Okay. And she claims that Oren SA'd her best friend and that a third brother, Tao, who was a year older, SA'd a 14-year-old girl. Now, this testimony places the brothers at Epstein's party. She called it in. The Alexander brothers, according to the federal indictment, ran this sex trafficking conspiracy that they started from at least 2010 to 2021. And it's sad that nobody is paying attention to this because it's very important, because I think it shows really how this kept going on. So when you see these real estate brokers using their wealth and allegedly they're using drugs to traffic women, you're looking at the same playbook Epstein used. Luxury as the lure. Hey, therapist, I'll be frank, good to see you guys. And I'm sorry we had some technical difficulties to start out. But they also use their wealth as a weapon. Power is protection. The promise of meeting celebrities, exclusive parties, of a lifestyle most people never see. And behind that promise, there was violence, drugging, gang SA, and terror. Now, the trial started in January of this year. And so we're into the third week. But we're going to start with the three brothers. There is another brother, but he's not mentioned in this at all. So maybe he has nothing to do with them. I don't know. And the pictures aren't working yet, so we're just going to keep talking.
Oh, really? Mine
Yeah.
mine are working just fine. Okay. So
Okay. Well,
what do you need me to do?
can you pull it up to, let me see. Go through a couple of them so I see where we're at. What you got?
Okay, I'm to the point where it was listing all of the
Yeah, where we had the sheet of paper with
yes,
yellow.
yes.
Yeah. Okay. Get past there. That's Pam Bondi being rude. Get past the boys. Little scum buckets. Okay, go past this.
I I'm way ahead of you, so you have to describe what you want me to go past.
There we go. Okay. So
Okay.
these three brothers, they were titans of luxury real estate.
Oh,
Titans, okay? But according to the federal prosecutor and the witnesses, their pattern of sexual violence started long before they were selling $238 million penthouses. So let's go back to Dr. Michael M. Kropp Senior High School in North Miami in the early 2000s, because that's where the pattern starts, you guys, all the way in high school. And it's where people saw it, they reported it, but nothing stopped it. Multiple allegations of assault and drugging emerged from their high school years, and they were allowed to continue doing this. Now, a freshman in 2002 claims Alon, one of the twins, invited other boys to participate in encounters without her consent. She began losing her memory and control. She suspected her drinks were spiked. She believed she was assaulted while unconscious by multiple boys, including the brothers. And how she found out was they were bragging about these encounters at school. Now, the second victim attended a party as a junior. She believes she was also drugged, despite drinking very little that night. She has fragmented memories of being with Tao, the older brother, and waking up with evidence of assault. In 2003, we have a 14-year-old victim. Now, here's the one that should haunt everyone, because this little girl did report it to the police that multiple male students, including the twins, Oren and Alon, SA'd her. After they had given her Xanax and alcohol, she became unconscious. Now, when the police investigated, let it sink in, okay? They investigated because this is on the radar in 2003. There is a report, but somehow the police decided to drop the charges. Need to be held accountable for this as to why this did not go further, because that's a little ridiculous. The girl was unconscious. Go ahead and see if you can go to the next picture. Okay. Now, there's a yearbook confession from Oren in his high school yearbook. And Oren Alexander listed his most memorable moment as riding his first choo-choo train. Prosecutors say that's a reference to gang SA. He entered it in his permanent high school record for everyone to see. Think about that. That's what these little narcissists were like. The party house, the brothers hosted large parties with minimal parental supervision. Witnesses reported they would record SA encounters, including those involving unconscious victims. Hey, Farquhar. They arrived at parties in convoys of luxury cars, BMWs, Cadillac Escalades, with DVD screens playing adult photographs or videos. of their own assaults. They were showing off their crimes. Now, the public face before the arrests, go to the next photo, Doc. Here's who they appeared to be. Oren and Tal, who helped sell all this real estate and even sold a Central Park apartment to hedge fund billionaire Ken Griffin. They represented Kim Kardashian and Kanye West, Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump, Lindsay Lohan and Tommy Hilfiger. So these are the circles they were running in. Oren was featured in Forbes 30 Under 30. In 2022, they launched their own firm called Official. Vogue featured Oren's wedding. Alon graduated from New York Law School and ran Kent Security, the family's private security company, expanding it nationally. Next picture. Their parents, Shalami Alexander and Orly Alexander. Now, they were real estate agents. They were the parents of the real estate agents, Oren and Tal, and their brother Alon rose from poverty, the parents did, in Israel to the top of Miami business circles. They were self-made real estate developer, Salom, and he was the security executive, his wife Orly. They immigrated from Israel in 1982 with practically no money and soon built a Miami. He built a fort in security and arrested in December of 2024. He claimed the case stemmed from a $35 million effort to extort him. Trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion. Also, trafficking of a minor with minors, you guys. Now, prosecutors don't have to prove force with a minor because minors can never consent. Exploitation itself is the crime. Inducement to travel for unlawful SA or activity, transporting victims across state lines, aggravated SA, and also physical incapacitation, because a lot of these girls were drugged. Okay, let me see here. Katrina says it's still cutting in and out.
Yeah. You were gone for probably about 15 seconds.
Okay.
And now you're back.
Can they still hear though? Even if I disappear?
No, it cuts out. But there's a delay.
Okay. What's going on, Doc?
But I can hear. I tell you what the problem is. The problem is YouTube changed their method of operation. That's bottom line.
Okay. Irish says she can hear me. Okay, but it has buffered a few times.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's just the way it's going to be for the show.
Okay, guys, hang with us.
Yeah.
So this they've alleged that each brother has violently SA'd at least 10 women each. At least 34 women have filed civil lawsuits. The allegations span actually from 2002 when they were in high school to 2021, 19 years. All three brothers have, of course, pleaded not guilty. They're being held with
You're back now.
Okay.
But it may take
Yeah, the videos these
take
guys
a
have in their
couple of
possession.
seconds for them to catch up. So,
Okay. So according to the indictment and the testimony, thanks, Astro from Space. I appreciate it. So according to the indictment and testimony, this organized you property access and to identify victims. Party promoters recruited women, sometimes teenagers, with promises of luxury travel, exclusive parties, VIP access. Then there were the drugs. They procured drugs in advance. There was cocaine, mushrooms, GHB. They drug women's drinks without their knowledge. Victims described feeling woozy, limp, having blackouts. Then they would transport. They moved women across state lines, New York to the Hamptons, Miami to international destinations, getting victims to isolated. And then they would be dependent on these guys because they couldn't get away. And then there were gang SAs, physical restraint, holding victims down, ignoring screams and explicit demands to stop. Then there was the text messages. You guys, these idiots bragged to each other. In fact, one of the brothers was bragging that they got a 17-year-old. Someone needs to tell the moron that means she's a minor. I don't know how they're going to get out of these charges, especially with the minor. That one's
at this point, I don't think they care. That at that point that they didn't care.
Yeah. Yeah. The essays were on video. These guys were proud of what they were doing.
Yep.
The warnings, then they would call these girls, they would warn them not to tell, they would intimidate them. It was all power and connections. One of the girls, can you flip pictures, Doc? Sure. They all gave them different names because since it's federal court, we know we don't get to see anything of the court. So we see drawings. And Katie Moore is one of the pseudonyms that the first woman used. And her story started in 2012 at the Manhattan Meatpacking District. Katie was 20. Yeah, that was the dad after he heard what his sons had done that day in court, and he said he felt great. You can go to the next one. So Katie was 20. She had been invited to a party at actor Zac Efron's apartment to watch the NBA Finals. And poor Zac Efron, his name gets drugged through this trial. He had nothing to do with anything. It just happened. It was at his house. There was a party. This is where she meets the scumbags. Nothing implicates Zac, but it shows the access these men had, the circles they moved in. Next picture. Katie met Alon and Tao at the party. She had a drink or two, took what she believed was a small amount of Molly. The group moved to a nearby club. She was handed a drink. She said her body went weak. She remembers leaving with Alon and Tao, and then her memory cuts out completely. When she regained consciousness, she was unclothed across a bed in an unfamiliar apartment. Alon Alexander stood over her, also naked. And when she tried to get off the bed, he kept pushing her down. When she could finally stand, she told him, "I don't want to have sex with you." His response? He laughed. He laughed and he said, "But you already did." So think about that. She wakes up. She doesn't have her clothes on. She has no memory. She explicitly says no. And then he laughs and tells her that he already SA'd her while she was unconscious. I hate to tell him, but that is not consent. Then he SA'd her again while she was conscious and telling him no. That's what a winner these people are. Next slide. Prosecutor Madison, I think it's Smizer, I'm not sure, told the jury these brothers masqueraded as party boys when really they were predators. So think about that. They were just predators. Now, there is some confusion. I did chat a little bit with Daniel Mail. He has an X account and also Substack, and he's really been following this trial. He's got a lot of good information. And today I did chat with him just briefly. And this is one of the parts that's very confusing for some people, because in the third week of the trial, there were two different women to testify about the same weekend. It was a Memorial Day weekend in 2009. Two women who didn't know each other described the same weekend at the same house, but their accounts kind of go together, but there are some differences. Okay. So let's go to the next slide.
Okay.
The witness, Aveshena Bourgeon, I'm going to butcher that poor girl's name. She was invited to the Hamptons by David Rebello. Now, he's a friend of the Alexanders. Remember him, David Rebello. They took a bus from Manhattan to a club called Pink Elephant in Southampton. As you can see, back in the day before we had cameras in the courtroom, we had artists. And that's what we have now because it's federal court and they don't allow cameras. So at this house party, Avishhan witnessed an SA assault in a hot tub. When she tried to intervene, Oren Alexander, they said, slammed a bedroom door in her face. And she was banging on the door saying, "I work for the UN. I know what you're doing to these girls in there." Now, she had interned for the UN, and she considered contacting the UN security after what she witnessed. Now, there are, in some of the testimony, it says she never said she was with the UN. And so there is some conflict here about that. She said she stood at the window and saw what was happening, and then she went upstairs, that she didn't do anything. So now, one thing I do know, if she did contact the UN, because we did talk to Professor McLeod, we all know the UN has its own problems with SA. Okay. So they could have told her just to mind her own business or to stay out of it. I don't know. But the second witness was Isa Brooks. She was a 16-year-old. 16. She's a child. She describes the same bus trip, the same club, and the same house. Matt Lipman is a party promoter, and he invited her. Now, I'm trying to figure out where Matt Lipman and David Rebello, both of these guys, are going to have to answer some questions. At the house, she accepted drinks from David Rebello. Now, he was the one that brought the girl from the UN in the hot tub. Well, the 16-year-old starts feeling woozy and limp. Tao follows her inside to a bedroom, kisses her, told her his brother was going to join them. She says, "I remember them holding me down and SAing me," and there was increased violence, both in what they were saying and how they were SAing me, just in a violent way. Having had no context at 16, I just wondered why it felt like they hated me. She remembers telling them to stop. She remembers not being able to lift her head or get away. She remembers eventually managing to kick one of the men. And also she says that other guy that handed her the drink, that I told you to remember, David Rebello, was there and part of this. So she remembers telling Tao afterward not to be mad at him, that Tao told her, "Don't be mad at him." During the testimony, Brooks recalled seeing another woman with guys on top of her. She saw Oren slamming a bedroom door in another woman's face. And then there's two separate women, two separate testimonies, same weekend, same house. But some are saying that when the UN girl testified, she didn't mention knocking on the door and saying, "I know what you're doing." So we'll have to see how this plays out with the jury. Now, Lauren Conklin, who has Pop Crime on YouTube, she actually was in the trial for the first day. And she did say, now this part did take place on week 3, but she did say that the jury is made up of half men and half women. She said it's the first time she's really seen a jury so, split, half men, half women. She says all different ages, different ethnicities. So it's really a mixed jury. We'll have to see how this plays out, because some people are saying their testimonies are similar. Some are showing that, there were some prominent things that were different. But also we have to remember she was 16 at the time, and she's going on what her memories were. She was a child. She was drugged. So could she have gotten a couple things wrong? So the defense attorneys who attacked Brooke's credibility, asking why she didn't report it at the time. Like, duh, she was 16 years old. She had powerful men that had just gang SA'd her, and you're yelling at her as to why she didn't immediately report it. I mean, I'm sorry. Number one, that's just wrong in my book. A 16-year-old child, yeah. She said, this has haunted me for 17 years. I'm horrified that there have been others. I fear that, if they don't face accountability, this is going to continue, because they'll learn nothing. Go to the next picture. Now the defense team also represented Diddy, now defending Oren Alexander. So their whole strategy is that everything was consensual. These were hookups. This is not trafficking. Defense attorney Deanna Paul told the jury, this was her first words talking about what happened. She says, it was crude, it was arrogant, it was cringe. Guys, we're not here for the Asshole Awards. No, lady, you're there because these guys were predators preying on children and women. 16 is a child. She cannot consent. Unconscious women cannot consent. Now, they do have PR strategists. With Weinstein's PR strategy. So that tells you they're all over X. Anyone makes a comment, they're putting in stuff, trying to support these little scumbags. Now, one of the is that Alon's lawyer argued because he got engaged. And I mean, really.
I'm going to take the control room down for a second.
Okay.
Not everything needs to come down, but it seems like we're having problems with Ninja. So
okay.
So hold on.
Okay. We should be right back, guys. Hang on there. I don't know what he's doing. Sure. You can comment on Bondi.
Okay. You're back.
We're
I just
back.
need to get you back into.
Okay. So the federal judge, she was the one that I love her. Her name's Valerie Caproni. She destroyed this argument of his that because he got married in 2019, that one of the conspiracy charges should be taken away because he was a part of the conspiracy after that. My question to him would have been, oh, so you're admitting to all the other years you were part of the conspiracy. Just because you got married didn't mean anything. And that's, the judge says, there are plenty of single men who engage in sexual activity without trafficking, drugging, or SAing women and girls. By the same token, the inverse of the government's alleged conspiracy is not, for example, the engaged life or the married life. She ruled that his marriage evidence is irrelevant. Being married doesn't prove you're not an SAer, period. And Tal's wife, Ariel, She filed for divorce, you guys, in January of 2025 after the
I wonder
arrests.
why.
And yeah, Bondi's a part of a lot of this. I'm surprised this trial has continued because of the connection with Epstein and some of the others. So even from jail, Tao has allegedly tried to control his ex-wife, sending her messages telling her to think twice about the divorce. So even behind bars, he is trying to abuse his wife. The numbers, at least 60 women have been interviewed by prosecutors, at least 34 civil lawsuits filed. There are allegations that actually span from 2002 all the way to 2021. There is federal indictments covering 2010 to 2021. That's 11 years. Each brother is accused of SA of at least 10 women each. The locations are New York, Miami, Los Angeles, the Hamptons, international destinations. All three brothers are facing 12 federal charges in the Southern District of New York. And we're not talking misdemeanors. These charges all carry a potential life sentence. They have conspiracy to commit sex trafficking, and that's the big one. Prosecutors allege that the three brothers worked together in a conspiracy from at least 2010 through 2021, those 11 years of organized, systematic trafficking. Counts 2, 3, 6, 7, and 8 are all sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, multiple victims. Now, I was listening to Joel Walford's Surviving the Survivor podcast, and he did make the comment that with this case, we're seeing more women come forward and testify, where in Diddy, there were only 3. There was supposed to be 4 that testified, but 1 didn't show up. So here we've had more women coming forward, and I think that's going to help the case. The legal definition here matters because sex trafficking includes any situation where someone provides anything of value. It can be money, it can be drinks, it can be drugs, it can be travel, a luxury experience in exchange for. This is federal jurisdiction. This is about the actual assaults, the physical force, drugging victims until they could not resist. Count 12 is sexual exploitation of a minor, including recordings or images. So beyond these federal charges, Oren and Alon also face state charges in Florida for SA. All three brothers have pleaded not guilty to all the charges, and they're currently being held without any bail. They tried to get bail before the trial, and the judge's like, nah, you're not getting out. I felt, one of the girls said, I felt guilty for not coming forward, but I also felt guilty for holding it in. I thought that he was evil. He's a monster, but I also thought maybe I was the only one. And see, that's what the predators count on. Isolation, shame, the belief that you're the only one. She wasn't, none of them were. In this case, why it matters, because it's happening right now in downtown Manhattan. There's going to be more testimony, more victims are going to take the stand. And this is what connects this to Epstein, even Weinstein and R. Kelly. Networks exist. These are networks. They protect each other. They enable each other. There are connections with these people. They know each other. And they operate for decades because people look away. Because wealth creates immunity. People, because victims are isolated, they're terrified, they're threatened. And the Alexander brothers, they were actually at Epstein's parties. I mean, ask him for a friend. Did they learn a couple of things from him? You know, because we know their name appears in the FBI files. They were reported. They built their alleged operation while Epstein was in prison because They knew him back in 2008 when he went to prison the first time. The network did not die when Epstein left. You guys have to know that. These networks don't die. Someone else takes their place. They adapt and they continue.
It's just like the cartels. If you know one drug lord goes down, another one takes his place.
Exactly. There's always somebody ready to step in.
Yep.
Now, before their arrest, the high-flying trio was hailed as royalty, you guys, in real estate circles. They were, of course, big supporters of the guy in the big White House. They even were at his inauguration party in 2016. One source claims that the Alexanders had ties to the Kushners because we know that they sold them real estate and actually live in the same area. The brothers were actually in the room in 26, or I guess it'd be 2015, when the guy in the White House was elected. Both the Alexanders and the Kushner families both have homes. It's the Miami enclave of Belle Harbor. These guys had everything. They had wealth, status, access to billionaires and celebrities. They celebrated Hanukkah at the White House. Yeah. Forbes 30 under 30, weddings in vogue, and they allegedly used all of it to build and maintain a sex trafficking operation for nearly 2 decades. Now, theirs was mostly for themselves and their friends, where we know with Epstein, it spread out. His was more international even, because he was after information. These guys were just little narcissists that saw what was happening and jumped in and thought, well, we can do it too. If convicted, each brother could face life in prison. Yeah, as in Jared, exactly. But conviction isn't the only point here. Justice for the survivors is the point. Exposing these networks is the point. Not looking away is the point. We have to pay attention to this. We can't let these kind of people keep getting away with it. Let's look at some missing posters before we finish up. Can you get us to our missing people, Doc?
I'm there. How about you?
No, I'm not, but that's okay. But remember, when you look at these faces, always have your cell phone out of your hand. You guys look at people. We got to make human connections. Look people in the faces. Stay alert. Sometimes people will leave voluntarily and then they get themselves in trouble and they can't go home. And we know human trafficking is real. They hide them in plain sight. Like these guys were doing to girls at parties. When you see something, you say, if something feels wrong, report it. Don't expect someone else to do it. You can do it. It's not hard. If you're worried about doing it, you can always contact tips for Trial Junkies United at gmail.com. And it's the number 4, tips for Trial Junkies United. We'll pass along information. Remember, by calling the cops or passing along information, you got the power to save a life. Our first person is Desmond Shipman. He was 49, aka known as Des. He went missing on January 30th in Port Alberni, British Columbia, Canada. And I probably butchered that. He has brown hair or brown eyes, black hair, 6'2". He had tattoos on his arms and chest, but they don't give us what they are. Contact Port Alberni RCMP at 250-723-2424. The case number is 2026-1088. If you see him outside of British Columbia, you can contact your local police department. Okay, so let's go to our next one, and that would be, let me see.
Gerald Luane Bruner.
Okay. Gerald Lorraine Dwayne. I'm sorry, Gerald.
Not
Luane.
Yeah.
Luane.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, he went missing on October 10th of 2022. So he was 42 at the time. He'd be about 46 now, from Oklahoma City. He's affiliated with the Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma and also part African American. He has brown eyes and black hair. They said he's between 5'6" and 5'8", 150 to 180 pounds. He has tattoos, a skull across his chest, a deer head on his left arm, a snake, the number 405, and a sun on the right arm, Alon and an angel on the left leg, and a collection of skulls. He has scars on his left arm and a hand. Contact Oklahoma City Police at 405-231-2121. The case number is 2023-0025-482. So if anyone's seen him, let's get that out there. And then the next person we have would be Latrice Thompson. She's 48. She went missing February 12th of 2026, so it wasn't that long ago. Can you move to that picture, Doc?
Yep.
Aztec, yep. New Mexico. She has brown eyes. Her hair is brown. She's 5'2" and weighs 150 pounds. She was last seen wearing a yellow t-shirt and black shorts near San Juan Regional Medical Center in Farmington, New Mexico. So contact the Aztec Police Department at 505-334-7601 or contact 505-334-6622. Okay, so let's go to the next picture. No, we never did get to see. The pictures aren't moving, Doc.
Yeah, they are. Latrice is up by there right now, and we're just waiting for Wanda Rowan to come up.
Oh, okay. Hey, Latrice. Somehow my thing got messed up. Okay, I got it.
Okay. Now,
this is Wanda Rowan. She's 38. She's been missing since February 1st of 2026. Since 12 p.m. Location was Seattle, Washington. She was last seen on foot in the area of 4th Avenue South and South Michigan Street around 12 p.m. They don't know which direction she was going. She has brown eyes, brown hair, and she's 5'7", weighs 130 pounds, was last seen wearing a green rain jacket and dark jeans and white shoes. Contact the Washington State Patrol at 206-625-5011. Her case number is 2026-036264. Okay, next slide. You guys, we're going to continue following this case and bringing you updates. One of the things that I loved was when Lauren Conlon made the comment that the brothers, especially the twins, didn't look as handsome as they might have before they got arrested, because she said they're looking pretty rough after being in jail for a year. That was comforting. I want them to look rough.
Yeah.
She said they're also
no problem at all with that.
They're also starting to lose their hair because, they don't have whatever special products they had at home to keep the hair going. I love that.
Oh.
Yeah. I just hope they get to stay there. Thank you, Southern Gal True Crime. You guys, I apologize for the difficulties. We're going to get this figured out. And this is an important case. But, I have to ask, why is David Rebello, Matt Lipman, and some of these others enablers, why have they not been arrested? And if there's anybody out there that knows anything about these guys, hey, reach out to our link tree that's in the description. I'd like some information on them, because I want to know, are they going to come out and testify for the prosecution? Is the defense going to try and call them? What's going to happen? Did they get some kind of plea deal? Remember, every Thursday is our MMIP for our missing and murdered Indigenous persons. And let's see, go to the next slide, Doc.
Okay.
Remember, you guys, every killer and every predator out there depends on people being silent. Don't give it to them. Don't give them the satisfaction. If you know something, speak up. Because it wasn't a mannequin. It never is a mannequin. And we know somebody knows something. Oh, Simi, I'll tell you what happened is YouTube made changes and didn't tell any of us. And so it's having trouble with putting stuff on YouTube, and then whatever operating system you're using, we use OBS. Some of them use StreamYard, but things aren't connecting correctly, and so things are getting dropped.
Yeah, YouTube changed the way that we all connect, and the other applications are fighting to catch up.
Yeah. So that's why we're all having trouble, and why things are kind of.
There's something else that I tried a the scheduler in YouTube, and it creates 2 instances of the same stream, and it really messes up everything. So needless to say, I won't be doing that again. Sorry, guys.
That's what happened to our Thursday show, where we had Brittany and Lily and little Ari, and I deeply apologize to Brittany and her family and Sheila's family. We put that video in private, and I'm going to try and get with Brittany and reschedule and redo a video with them, because Sheila's story is too important not to put it out there correctly. And it really broke my heart that it got messed up so badly. So Brittany hasn't been feeling good after the show Thursday. She got ill, and so she was down. She's been down. So please remember her. Keep her in your prayers. As soon as she's able, we're gonna, do something. But we'll see what's gonna happen. But we just want you guys to know that we really care, and we appreciate you guys coming and showing up and being part of our community. Please hang in there with us. Help us build this community, because we really want to stand for people that aren't getting justice. We really want to let their voices be heard. If you know someone that might have a story they want to share or need to share, or someone that's either in the legal profession, medical profession, someone that we can use as a person to get information on some of these cases, send them our way. Tell them we would love to have a chat, and if they would like to come on and do a show. We're very open to doing these things, because we want to make this a community that you guys are part of, that you guys help us set up. And that's what's important. So remember, silence is betrayal. Go to the next slide, Doc. And until next time, you guys, please stay informed, stay compassionate, keep seeking truth, keep demanding justice, and never stop speaking up. There we go. Get us there, both.
It's going. It's going.
It's going. So, Doc, go ahead and say goodnight to all of our lovely community here.
Good night, Doc.
And remember, you guys, we love you all, and the criminals never stop. So neither do we. And until next time, keep fighting for justice. And we'll see you on Thursday night. And we appreciate it all. Thanks to the mods. Thanks to Doc for hanging in there when he wants to pull his hair out. And of course, Moo, who's been napping the whole time. She's been a good girl. And thank you guys, because you guys are the ones that make this community great. And we appreciate it. Please share. Get us some more people over here to see what we're doing, so that we can make a bigger impact. And that's what it's about. And we love you all, and we'll see you soon. Ciao. And you'll have to take us out, Doctor. I can't. My buttons aren't working.
Greetings, truth seekers and justice warriors. Let's ride, seize your storyteller with that fire in her eyes. A ride or die, Doc's riding shotgun by her side. Then we're ready for the fight in the wilderness, where predators hunt, where the system fails and cases grow cold. We're shining our light on the other side, on the stories that need to be told. Welcome to justice after dark, where cold cases never rest. Every name deserves to be heard, from the missing to the murdered, because even in darkness, justice needs a voice. Join the story, make some noise. Justice belongs to everyone. We bring it to light. Through cold case files where time stands still, indigenous voices echo from the void. The forgotten names, we still remember them. We won't ignore any missing souls. Building bridges, breaking walls, answering justice's call. One community, one voice. In the darkness we rejoice, sharing stories left behind, every truth we can find. Welcome to justice after dark, where cold cases never sleep. Every name deserves to be heard, for the missing and the murdered, because even in darkness, justice deserves a voice. Join the story, make some noise. Justice belongs to everyone. We bring it to light. So buckle up, trial junkies, truth seekers and justice warriors. The road ahead gets bumpy as we guide you through another set of stories that need justice. Welcome to Justice After Dark. The adventure starts now. One community, one voice.